Hello everybody, this is Marion with MyCraftBasketStudio, and today I'm going to go over tutorial number 11, anything hidden paper clips. I recommend that you go to my website at mycraftbasket.com, click on the tab that is labeled MCB Studio Tutorials, New, and print the free PDF before you watch this video so that you can make your own notes of creativity as you watch, and then go try it. I was first introduced to hidden paper clips by Eve at Scrapbooking with Me Crafts. I have since seen all different types. You probably have too. We've got the simple one where the clip is exposed on the back. We've got double hidden where they sandwich the paper clip between two pieces of cardstock. We've got the double hidden with a hole in the top layer so a dangle could be attached to the clip. We got them wrapped with one piece of cardstock. We got a slip or a sleeve for each side of the clip with pockets, with tabs, and finally adding them to an item so that they then become a hidden paper clip. So for example, here I've got my junk journal pocket for my junk journal pen, and on the back it is a hidden paper clip so I can attach it to my book page. So that is what I did with that one. And so then when I did that, so then I was watching several different videos, and as I said, this is the simplest of a design, but then when I was watching videos, it seemed that most videos used decorative paper and basically were square or rectangle. And it seemed that most videos stayed with that design. But I discovered Lori's YouTube channel, Piles of Paragraphs, where she shared a video using different shapes and cleverly hid the paperclip. The last one that she demoed was a die-cut butterfly, and that is when inspiration hit me. I have many stamps and dies that will work, and I'm going to walk you through how to make your own and give you some tips on solutions to a few issues I came across. And I want to show you what I made, and then we'll discuss it. So this is the ones that I have made. These right here are symmetrical, so we've got a little gingerbread boy, gingerbread cookie, heart, and there's my butterfly. Then I've also got asymmetrical stamps. So this is a gingerbread house and a coffee cup. Then let's not forget, you've got probably stamps in your collection. It would be too difficult to trim that out. So what I did was I just went ahead and stamped it on a square piece of paper. I did add the words gobble gobble. Those are printed off my computer. Colored them in, and he made a cute little hidden paper clip. And then don't forget those cut aparts. How many of you got in those paper pads? And because there are so many different designs, yes, they usually do duplicate those pages, so you could do it the same on front and back, but I didn't. I did different designs. So on those two, I did two different designs on there. And as you can see on the symmetrical designs, the design is on the back as well. And same with the bee here, just a real simple square image, so it was easy to do. I could have done that with the butterfly, but I didn't want to have to color it twice, and the same with the turkey. I didn't want to have to do it twice. Now on the coffee cup and the gingerbread house, the coffee cup, if you had like, say, a coffee bean stamp, you could stamp that on the back, or you could stamp it on a piece of book paper, and then when you flipped it over, the words would be on the back for the book paper. I'm going to show you how to make the coffee cup. I'm going to show you a twist on the gingerbread boy. And then I've got one that you don't even see here. It's an ornament I'm going to show you. All right, so the centerpiece that is on the design, it's going to be dependent on the size of your item. And I'm going to convert this one into a hidden paper clip. So I just used double-sided tape so it would come apart very easy. So I'm going to set that to the side. And so there's the paper clip. So as I said, this is dependent, this piece, this strip is dependent on how big your item is. I want to show you, this is one I haven't taped down yet. But what you're going to do is have a strip that's a long strip. So you measure the width that you need and then measure the length that you need, but double it because we are going to fold it over. So that I will be showing you how to use later. But that's how this one is. It's actually folded over with the paper clip on the top. I've already used double-sided tape. I like using double-sided tape. It helps hold my paper clip in the spot that I want it in, but I am going to use Aleene's tacky glue to help glue it down to finish it off. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pull off the double-sided tape, the piece that covers it. I personally like to use the side that's the larger size of the clip. I like to have that for my front piece. It doesn't matter. That's just what I prefer. If you like doing it the other way, there is no right or wrong. Now on this paper, it was double-sided. So this is the same paper. It was the edge of the paper where I couldn't possibly use that label anyway. So you can see the inside is the same stripe. This is going to be glued down so you won't see it. So we're going to, I always like to have my writing so it's like this on anything that I do. So we're going to set that down here. And if I didn't mention it, I like to corner around the edges because it makes it, you'll see in some other ones that I have, you can get a little bit closer to the edge because they're rounded. You don't have that corner sticking out, especially if the edge you're putting it on is curved. And also when you go to put it on your book or your book page, the edges won't catch because they're rounded. So that's the reason why I round the edge. So once that's glued down, and I actually forgot to use my glue there, but it's still holding very well because it is very strong tape. I will use it on the next part here though. I got too busy talking and forgot. And so we're going to expose this side of the tape. And then on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to glue the top right here because this is where it's going to hide the paper clip. So we're going to put glue right here. Right there. And then I'm going to put glue around just to reinforce it. I'm going to put some glue around the edges there. All right, so now when I got that, again, I like to have it so it's facing that way. We're going to set it down, and what I like to do is kind of where the glue is at the top, I like to use that as the pivot point before I press it completely down to make sure it's even all the way around. And then that glue the tape kind of stops the paper from moving once you get it in place, and then you can just keep pressing it down to make sure that the glue is adhering. All right, so there we go. What was once something that had a paper clip exposed, wow. One that was exposed, we now have a hidden paper clip, just like that. So there is that example of how to turn something that had an exposed clip into one that now it is hidden. Now, when I did my first sample, I had to try it and see how this is going to work. So I always do something where I figure out the mechanics of it. Yes, the video showed me a lot of things, but you got to try it for yourself. And so I grabbed one of my die cut hearts. It's symmetrical, so I didn't have to worry about it trying to figure that part out. And when I put it together, probably because I was used to doing it the other way, I had my clip up too high. And so then I go like, oh, it's exposed at the top. And so I go like, well, I don't like that. So I put a grommet there. But I'm going to come back to that in a minute once I get done showing you some other my examples that I'm actually going to show you how I put them together. All right, so as I said, the centerpiece is dependent on the size of the item. So this is one that I don't have a sample made of already. It is ornament. And also, I did paper piecing on these. So in other words, the silver cap is a separate piece of paper that I glued down onto the ornament base that is all red. And if you're interested in paper piecing, please visit MyCraftBasket website and go to the, it is under the archive section. So be sure you check out the Minecraft Basket tab there for archived videos. It'll be there. It's number 9 for paper piecing. All right, so now this is what I'm going to do. It's a symmetrical one, so it can have an image on both sides. Again, I've already glued this one down. I did remember to use the glue on that one. And so now we're going to peel off this tape to expose this. We're going to get that glue here. And we're going to glue it on. Sometimes when I do the gluing, and I think that if I think I've maybe used a little too much glue and I'm afraid it's going to ooze out, just go ahead and put a piece of cardstock between the two as you're pressing it together, so you don't have to worry about any of the glue oozing out and getting to where it actually seals the area here that you don't want glue on. So now I'm going to flip this over, and as I said, when I have that glue at the top, it helps me pivot the item in place before I start pressing it down. And how about that? That is just the cutest little paper clip, isn't it? Let me show you here on my black cardstock here. So we got that. We're going to put it here between. See, it's not quite glued down yet. Let me press it just a little bit longer so it will. Tacky glue holds pretty quick, but not when you're trying to do a video. All right, so now I've got it on there. Look at that. Isn't that just the cutest little hidden paper clip? What a way to use it. You'd never think to do that. Okay, so now we made that one, and now I want to show you an asymmetrical design, and it is that coffee cup. So here's my coffee cup. And this one is also an item where I paper pieced it. So I stamped it. This is actually a file folder. So I stamped it on a file folder. Then I stamped it on white cardstock to get and cut out the lid. And then I stamped this section with the saying on it. I stamped that on like a paper sack. And then I cut it out and I glued both of those items down onto the base. So that's how I did that. That's called paper piecing. Makes it coloring so easy and so quick. And so now I've got that ready to go. I've already got I wanted to show you this again. As I said, your strip is dependent on the width of your item and also how long you want how high up you want it. So in this instance, hopefully you can see it. They are the same color, so I hope you can see it. I made it so it is like right there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I put the tape down. I try not to do too much assembly and gluing. I personally fast forward on those. I'm okay with it if you do that. You know how to glue and tape. You certainly can. So I'm going to put my tape, my double-sided tape there and on the other side. And as I said, I kind of favor using the long side of the paper clip for my face. So I'm going to do that on this one. So let me get my glue ready. And we're going to put it down. And this is kind of a good example of showing that why I corner rounded it, because it kind of angles down. And I'm able to get it a little closer to the bottom. Almost forgot the glue. So that it just is better if it's closer to the bottom, because that's where you're going to slide it onto your paper, onto your book page. All right, so we're going to glue that down. I'll hold that for just a little bit here. Now on the back, as I said, it's asymmetrical. So in other words, you can see that the side of this cup here, the lid part, is different than this side. So it's not symmetrical. So the workaround on that is to stamp another one, but we're going to do this. We're going to flip it upside down. And as I said, you could take and glue. So say you had a book page and you wanted to have the book page here. What you would do is stamp the image on the back of the book page, of course, a book page has writing on both sides, but just in this example, I would glue it down onto the book page, my cardstock of the stamped image, and then I would trim them all out together. So I would glue the cardstock down, stamp the image, then cut it all out together, and so then when I'd have the stamp image, I'd have writing on the back side instead of it just being blank. So that is something, if you want to do that, or in this instance I said before, you could do a coffee bean stamp. Wouldn't that look cute on the back, stamped with coffee beans? So now we're going to get ready to put on the second portion of the coffee cup. We're going to put the glue here for the strip, and we want it glued at the top. This is where it's going to hinge, so to speak, and hide the paper clip. So there we go. And we want to make sure we have it face down. You can see it matches all the way around. And there we go. There's our asymmetrical coffee cup, hidden paperclip. That is just how simple it is. You do want to kind of hold that for a little bit. As I said, Aleene's tacky glue is pretty fast, but you want to make sure that all those little edges of the strip are all adhered. Don't have any gaps there. Okay, and now I'm going to put this one on my paper so you can see how it looks. So there we go. We've got that one. Wouldn't that make a nice gift, maybe to enclose in a birthday card to somebody? Something like that. So there's that one. Now, I'm going to come back. Remember I said that I had the grommet on there. Well, later when I was looking at this image, I go, would any of those images work with a grommet? I couldn't do it there. You possibly could do it there. None of these, maybe these would work with grommets, but I wouldn't want to put a grommet on the butterfly. I wouldn't want to do it on the heart or on their faces. That's where I'd have the hole. So I thought, wait a minute, let's go back to the old way of doing it, where the clip is up higher, which is what happened here. I had it too high, and so this is what I'm going to do. I've got my little gingerbread boy, and I stamped him. He's symmetrical, so it's on both sides. He's going to be back and front and back. And I've got my paper strip here already. But when I put the paper clip down, I have the paper clip up off the folded edge a little bit so that I have a loop. And so I have a little charm attached to it. It says made with love on the little charm. And so now I'm going to glue that down. So let's see here. This is the front. It's the bigger part of the clip. Both of these little guys look fine. I think I'll make this one my front though. No rhyme or reason, just what I'm going to pick. I used a white pen to color in those spaces and a red pen, gel pens, to do the buttons. So there's my clip ready to go. And I'm going to show you now where I'm going to place that. This is going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be all the way down to the bottom like I did the others. It's going to be up higher, kind of like the original style of a hidden paper clip with a clip exposed. All right, so we're going to go here, get that charm out of the way. Usually I wouldn't have the charm on until after I assembled it, but I wanted to have that done already so I didn't have to do it while you were watching me. All right, so you can see, hopefully you can see, that the clip is up a little bit. Maybe if I flip it over. There you go. You can see that the clip is up a little bit over the head of the gingerbread boy. And I'm just holding that down so that it can adhere pretty good before I put the other side on. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I don't see any oozing to wipe off. So then we're going to expose the other side. And then we'll get the glue on there. And then I've got one more to show you before we're all done. Okay, so there's glue on that back side. And because we've got it all the way up to the top, it's going to be adhered at the top, but the clip is going to be exposed. So we're going to go ahead and put those two together. It's symmetrical, so it fits together just fine. And there we go. We have a hidden paper clip with a little dangle. How about that? Isn't that cute? There's the front side of the charm. Got a little bit of glue on it. So anyhow, that is how you can then add a paper clip, but still have a dangle, because a grommet isn't going to work very good on these little guys. And let's see, if it's not quite dry yet, I think I can slide it on so you can see it. Let's move that one. There we go. There's the little the gingerbread guy with his little dangle. Okay? Now, in doing that and seeing this curved part, it reminded me of the ornament. You know, ornament has a circle there too for hanging on the tree, right? And I go like, I want to try that. Let's see if I can do it. So this one I did in green and gold. So it's paper pieced. I stamped this the green image, and then gold separately, cut it out and put it on the top of the ornament. This is my workaround. Now, this ornament is very narrow. So using a paper clip like I did on the gingerbread boy, see, it's not going to work, is it? It's too wide. I go, what could I put there that would still make it so that I have something I could hang something on? And this is my workaround. I got a jewelry, jump ring, and I ran a piece of double-sided tape through the jump ring so it adheres it to the paper. And then I also used some E6000. So that is on there pretty good. And I've already put the charm on there just so that you can see that I don't have to mess with that on the video. I've already got one side glued down. Let's glue down the other side. This is a good example of where rounding the corner of the strip makes it so I can get it closer to the edge. Otherwise that point would be sticking out. Another thing you could do, if you don't have a corner rounder, you can still do this. Put your strip down and just take your scissors and cut off that tip of the strip. Okay, now we're going to glue it down. And so here we go with this one. This one I will put glue up here as well, because I want that sealed there. So we'll put glue all the way down to that part. Carry it to the edge there, and I'm going to put glue here. All right, almost got glue. There we go. This is the final one as far as assembly. All right, and then we're going to put that, as I said, the pivot point there where that glue is nice and wet yet, so I can get it in place, and then press down onto that tape. And there we go. How about that? Isn't that cute? I was so excited when I thought to use that jump ring. So that makes an ideal little ornament gift. That would make an excellent little additional little gift for somebody in their card for Christmas. All right, so in review here, these are all the different ones that I have made. And let me see here. I've got some things to tell you before I finish this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please visit MyCraftBasket.com for my other tutorials. Also visit MyCraftBasketStudio.etsy.com. I'll put that right there so you can see the website. For items that I have for sale, there are many Christmas items. I've got some gift card holders in there that I just put up. They're very cute and have a dangle on them. And I still have some Halloween. Even though Halloween's over, you still can order it. It's still available. And I want to mention, I know Etsy is doing Christmas sales, but I want to let you know that I don't do sales, because with every item that you order, so for example, say you ordered 4 things, you're going to get 4 additional bonus items. And when you do the discount on that and figure up, okay, it's maybe your total of your order came to $12 and you ordered 2 items, you're basically getting about 33% off. That helps with your shipping. As far as I know, postage is expensive, and so that's also why I do it. Because some of my items, maybe I actually started this one, somebody ordered one simple little thing, but the postage was just crazy. Because that's just how the USPS is. It's just so expensive now. And to offset that, I included a bonus item with her order. And I thought, you know, I'm going to continue to do this. The other thing that I like to do is when you do an order, I do a video of the bonus unveiling for your items that you purchased. And if you would like to go to my YouTube channel at MyCraftBasketStudio, you will see 5 different playlists there. I have tutorial videos. I have Fresh from the Studio, which is new product review. I have the bonus unveilings, studio stories. Studio stories. And then I have shorts. My shorts are very popular, and that helps draw people to my site as well. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Oh, I also wanted to mention that I have sold to 19 states in the United States, and I've also sold to 3 countries. Those countries liked my tea bag folding. So thank you so much over there in Europe, in the UK and Scotland. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you go out and look at your stuff and make some fun hidden paper clips. Have a great day. Bye-bye.